spawning all. Spawning all. Yo, what is going on, guys? I'm back and bringing another video. So today we're going to be talking about the M13 and basically its buffs and how it kind of compares to the kings of the game, the MP5 and the M4. So for a lot of people, they haven't really put the M4 down for the M13 yet. But if we go over the buffs here, it received a small range boost, basically extending its effective kill range. It received a small horizontal recoil buff, which I'm going to let you know right now was not small. That was a huge increase, because previously, pre-patch, it used to kick up and then straight off to the right as if it was making a hard right to get off the freeway. But now it goes straight up, and you know, it kind of peels off to the right just a little bit, but it's controllable now compared to its rate of fire. Then, on top of all of that, as if it needed anything else, they decided to buff its headshot effectiveness by increasing its damage by a very small amount. Which, to be honest with you, I really didn't think it needed. If anything, I felt like it needed more damage for the body, because at times I'll be lighting somebody up and it almost feels like it takes 6 or 7 shots. I know it's only 4 or 5, but sometimes it really does feel like 6 or 7, which is crazy. And I'm not an inaccurate person, so for me to sit here and say that, there's a little something off with the M13. It's almost as if it's giving me ghost bullets through half the magazine. But that's another story for another day. Today we're going to be going over the loadout and talking about basically what I think is the best equipment to run on an M13. We'll be running a game of sixes, domination, and a game of ground war, and the idea for running those two different game modes to give you an idea of how the weapon performs in minimum range and maximum range. So obviously in minimum range, which is about 0 to 50 meters on a regular 6v6 map, is what you'd expect to run into gunfights wise, kind of across the board. Ground war allows you to push that 100-meter range, and I don't think you're ever going to find a gun that's going to be able to perform well at 100 meters, but we're going to go in there anyway, just to kind of show off the weapon and see how it really does perform in a setting like that. And we're going to try to get a Juggernaut today. Maybe it kind of pops up out of nowhere. So, getting right into it, let's talk about the weapon. So, obviously, you can see I have the radioactive version that you get from the store. I bought it specifically for the camo just because I thought it was cool. I also got my gold Mark II, and I bought the Dusty Trail variant because I really like the wooden engravings that they have on the weapon, and it for me it flowed well with the gold. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk about this M13. So we maxed it out. Now there's a number of attachments that you can get. You can get the Tempest Mini, you can get the Cyclone, and you can get the Marksman. I chose to run the Cyclone because you get 2 for 1, and there's not really a big downside for doing that. As you can see, you know what we're actually going to do is we're going to sit here and we're going to cut all the attachments so you can see what the weapon looks like normally with the stats 0 out of 5, and we'll show you the attachments that I chose to run. So you could easily run Monolithic Suppressor, but you don't really get that much out of it, at least compared to other weapons. So what I decided to do was run the Tempest Cyclone because it's effectively giving you the bonus of having a Monolithic Suppressor, and you get a free barrel attachment with it, which you can't really, it's 2 for 1. There's literally no downside. The mobility we can fix, and I'm going to show you how. We're going to sit here and we're going to actually add in stippled grip tape. Now, for a lot of people, you guys may like optics. I choose not to run an optic, so instead you go with the 300 blackout rounds. Huge range buff, huge damage buff for it. It's great. You can't go wrong with that. Now for the underbarrel. I know that a lot of people like to use Merc foregrips and other stuff. I like to personally go with the tactical foregrip because I don't lose too much mobility while doing it. And one thing that you guys need to understand when customizing your weapon is how accuracy and control actually applies to the weapon. So when you're talking about accuracy, the accuracy itself only controls the side-to-side recoil pattern that you have while you're getting shot or while you're shooting. The control controls the vertical. So when we're talking about horizontal, that's accuracy, and vertical is your control. So in fights, you don't really worry about your horizontal recoil. That's not really what you're worried about, because 9 times out of 10 you're strafing, so that's easy to control. So me, I personally tend to stay around control and managing my vertical recoil, which means I need to choose what's going to give me the best benefit for my control. So I decided to go with the technical foregrip on almost every one of my weapons. Now I guess you're wondering, what else could you possibly be running? Okay, well, for a lot of people, I know that they would love to use lasers, because the lasers give them increased ADS speed, because it does increase your mobility. I'm here to let you know now, I don't like using lasers because they give away your position, and my playstyle is basically staying out of the way of the radar and out of enemy sight. I do not like being seen. I don't like showing up on radars. I don't like camping. I don't like people camping me. So I tend to stay out of harm's way. I run ghost. I run suppressors. This is mainly for pubs. If I was in a pro setting, it would obviously be different, because none of this would matter, and 90% of the stuff that I'm running now would probably be illegal in the pro setting. But while running in pubs, there's a lot of UAVs, there's a lot of campers, so I tend to err on the side of getting out of the way of all that, which means no lasers. I don't need optics. I typically run iron sights on all of my weapons just because they're not that bad, and even if they are bad, you play with it for a while, you learn how to use it. So instead, I run fully loaded, because if I intend to get high kill games, I need to have ammo. When you spawn, you only spawn with like 2 magazines in reserve. That's terrible. So I tend to run fully loaded, get 4 or 5, maybe 6 magazines, and you learn how to control your shots to where you know how many shots it's going to take to kill somebody at that certain range. That's just something that comes with experience. I'm used to it. So that's not a silent flex or a big flex. That's just me, you know, hey, I'm used to it, so I know how to do it. But it's something that comes along while playing the game. So now that you guys know what I think is the best loadout, let's go on ahead and get into some games, and we'll sit over here and run 6v6 and then ground war, and kind of show you how the weapon can perform in these game modes. The Cars River Corps. Yes, it is. Haha. Oh, I didn't totally just read that off the bottom, but we're gonna go on ahead and try to hitch us a ride here. I guess I'll take the APC. The idea, you know what? I'm gonna get to the helicopter, because the idea is to get into the spawn as quickly as possible. Because if I can, I know for a fact they're gonna be going from A to B. Yo, my God, you got to be kidding me! Who did that? All right, so we're just gonna land here actually, and then. That didn't actually. How did you even get up there without landing on the helicopter?
Securing Delta.
This is perfect positioning by teammate. Grand position. So what I'm gonna do? Look at that. Do you see that sniper over there? This dude is doing nothing but just sitting in one spot. That's terrible, man. Alright, so we've already set up camp, huh? Spawn. So I guess we'll just spawn here and try to.
Calling to base.
Bro, come on. Don't do that to me, game. I'll spawn with 2 feet in front of some dude. A dude that's already hard scoping that lane. Like, come on now. Is he still? Oh my God, man. Come on. See that?
Enemy cluster strike. Take cover.
Yo, teammate, backing me up.
To you on the roof. Personal radar coverage.
Got you. Good God. What the heck is going on here, yo? I need to get up out of here. They're spawning all. They're spawning all.
Enemy cruise missile. Got a VTOL on on station, ready to deploy. We are losing ground. Focus. Enemy at Echo, go! Enemy precision airstrike, get down! Falcon 3-0. First. Enemy cluster strike.
Got it. Let's go. Let's get it. I knew he was coming, but I wanted that chopper. I want it, and I got it. Let's go. Alright. Just put the snipes off. We're gonna pop the VTOL, and you know what? We're gonna pop it over this canyon right here because we need to get those guys. Try to get our boys up out of here. Yeah, he's dead. That was one successful chopper gun. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. Oh, from where? Okay, dude. I guess.
We're on Delta, stand by. Securing
But yeah, we definitely got those snipes out, got a couple of shots out with the M13. So the M13 right now is definitely proven to do his job. And has put people in the floor. Right off the bat, already got a VTOL, got the chopper gunner, we're pushing 28 kills. We'll see if we can get another one. Or another two actually. Which really shouldn't be that difficult if I play my cards right. And don't run into a million campers up here. This is where I need to be at if I'm planning to get any of my streaks again, because this is where the entire team is. Ooh, no, I thought that was coming my way. Like I say, out of all the places that thing could have gone. Okay, it appears to be that my team does not care about the map at all.
Alpha secure. Enemy precision airstrike, get down. Enemy UAV overhead.
Oh, that shit was done. Got it. And dang it, man. I just wanted to kind of sit there for a second and get everybody that I could see there, because they were really spawning up here. That was just what is up with this spawn? I don't want to be here. Alright, so we're gonna pop this real quick. We're gonna see if we can get out here. Get my mans right there. Go ahead and pop this. Go around. I know he's dead. Mans right there. We need to get inside, to be honest with you, because I need to see what the heck is going on here. Alright, so they're on the roof. That's not a big problem. I can deal with that. I'm just gonna go ahead and handle that roof. Grab him.
Falcon 3-0. Call in today.
I hear them, but I don't see them. Okay, I don't know what's going on, but I know that we cannot have any snipers. I need to get off here, actually.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Perfect.
Enemy cruise missile.
Ooh, I need to get out of here. There he is.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Dang it. I need to finish that job. Got the assist. I'm not feeling the assist, dude.
Enemy taking Echo.
I don't have any stems.
Precision airstrike, get down.
But I do have that sense. rotate through here. I don't see them. I don't understand why I'm not finding anybody out here. I don't like it. Normally, I mean, I ran into the entire team. I see. Camp. That's definitely something that they're doing. There's gotta be a way for me to figure out where the rest of these people are. There's 2 people on the top. I want to get up there. If I can get up there, I can get those 2 people. I knew it. I knew it, man. There's always somebody doing it, dude. Somebody camping to protect the campers. Always. No matter, we'll see if we can go for it again. They're camping. Really, kid? There's too many people camping right now. And I gotta figure out where they're spawning at so I know exactly where to go. Looks like they're spawning at D, maybe? I wanna see.
Allied UAV overhead.
I wanna say they're spawning at D. Or close to it at least.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Yeah, somebody's definitely in D. That's me.
Enemy on station for overwatch.
Grab him.
Allied precision airstrike incoming. Beware.
Work over towards him. It seems like there's a lot of people trying to take it. Yes. I missed? Wow. I missed and the guy camping got me. Okay, dude. Yeah, we pulled 40 so far. I'm not really satisfied with that. I want more. I want more. I want another VTOL and chopper. But in order for that to happen, I gotta get these campers, which is the most difficult thing in the world. Because this game benefits camping so much, man. My god. What? In the window. Look at that. Like, come on. Look at that. That is... Woo, that's ridiculous, man. I missed. Can't be missing those, man. Come on, dog.
Securing Alpha.
Yo. I hate recon drones, man, because they always spot me. And I'm the one person that does not need to be spotted, because I'm the one person who's doing most of the slaying for the team.
Take cover. Allied chopper gunner arriving now.
I mean, it's obvious that we're taking an L this match.
Securing C.
We're gonna have
Allied IAV
to...
traffic.
Yes.
Need backup with Delta.
What?
Allied precision airstrike.
Oh, boy. Yeah, this is Camp Central in here. I did not want to be over here, but I had to be. The second I spawn, I get killed by an APC. Ay. Well, we ended up dropping 41 for it. I have to say that the M4 is still going to beat out the M13 every time. That is one ugly M4. But for the most part, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Kind of popped off 41-16, not too impressed with it. But there's always going to be a next time. Make sure you guys like the video. Make sure you guys sub. Make sure you guys share the video, as it does help the channel grow. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Take care.